Hello.
Hello,
Who do we have the pleasure of speaking with?
my name's Amanda. I go by Mandy on the street.
Your name's Amanda and you go by Mandy. I have one request for you that you just speak up a little bit.
Okay.
Where you from, Mandy?
Originally, I'm from New Jersey. I came to Baltimore when I was 17, turning 18 for rehab, and I discovered the city and never left. So,
When you were 17, you came to Baltimore for rehab.
yes.
How did you first get introduced to substances to have to go to rehab?
So when I was 15, uh, two of the girls in school that I hung out with got into powdered coke, and I was so green to drugs at that time. So I was paired with them for a school project, and I went over to their house. They kept going in and out of the bedroom, in and out of the bedroom. So I went in there and I saw it on the counter, and I'm like, what is that? And they were like, oh, you want to try it? They were like, but don't freak out. You're going to feel, your throat's going to get weird and numb. And I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll try it. And yeah, I just, even though like it wasn't really my thing after I tried it, I was big into wanting to fit in. So I kept doing it because they were popular and I wanted to hang out with them, be cool. So, and then eventually I came across people who introduced me to crack. And after trying that, I fell in love. So I got hooked on that at 16, and I just went off to the races. And, you know, I was already in 4 rehabs before I came to Maryland. I was in one, so my third rehab, they were giving me Suboxone, Klonopin, and muscle relaxers to detox, and I was cheeking them and snorting them to get high. So the rehab found out, and they were like, oh, we can't complete you, can't graduate, and, you know, my mom is like really green to all of this. And she freaks out as if like I'm not getting my diploma, like, oh, you can't graduate the program, you know. So they were like, oh, well, we can send you to another program that's in Maryland. And my mom thought maybe getting me out of New Jersey away from, you know, my old people places and things would help. So yeah, they sent me to Phoenix Recovery Center in Edgewood. And I mean, I did good. I completed the program, and you know, once it was done, instead of going back home like I was supposed to, I explored the city. And you know, seeing Baltimore City is like a different world. It lives by different rules. And seeing a city like this, when you come from something so sheltered, like what I came from, it's mesmerizing, and it definitely hooks you. And it's like it would be like an adrenaline rush just to like go into the city and cop. I mean, eventually it gets old, like everything does. But yeah, in the beginning, I was just hooked to the city and the lifestyle, and yeah, I never left. And now I'm stuck out here.
So you feel you're stuck?
Huh?
You feel like you're stuck?
Well, no, I'm not stuck. I shouldn't say that. I know I'm not stuck. But, you know, this lifestyle is hard. So, and it's like I've already been to 12 rehabs.
How many?
12.
12. When's the last time you were in a rehab?
Uh, 6, no. I just did one for 6 months. And I was involved in Pasadena. So I had 11 years clean. Well, okay, so let me start from the beginning. So when I discovered the city, I picked up a raw habit, heroin, and I started shooting. And that's when, drugs were still drugs. And it was like really bad. And I was living in the city in Park Heights. I moved there to be closer to my dealer. And yeah, and I just, I had this habit for 6 years. And then I found out I was pregnant with my son. And, I didn't want to be that mom that was like going down to the city and copping with a belly, and. So I put myself into the methadone program, and I did everything right during my son's pregnancy. I got clean and everything, and once I had him, he was born with a lot of medical issues, and so like I kind of like threw myself into him, and he like became my new drug, and he was diagnosed with autism at 2. And like his autism, it's rough. Like his temper tantrums, he freaks out, and I'd have black eyes and bite marks, and so it was stressful. But I felt bad, even though the doctors say the drugs didn't cause it. I felt bad, like I robbed him. But yeah, so I kind of threw myself into him, and then his father, who I met in the rehab, Phoenix. We were together for 15 years, and one day he comes home from work and tells me he's been cheating for the last 3 years, and then he's leaving, and that sent me back out after 11 years clean. So yeah, it sucked, but yeah, I started my homelessness in Dundalk, on Dundalk Avenue, and that's where I started tricking and doing dates for the first time, because like honestly, for a female out here, it's rough, and there's really no other way to make money to support your habit. The money that you need to support your habit. So that's what most of us females fall into out here. So yeah, I started doing that, and started messing around with a guy out there, and find out I'm pregnant with my daughter. And again, put myself in the program, get clean, have my daughter. And then I left the program, and I got into an argument with one of the counselors, and I chose to leave on my own. So they red flagged me with CPS because I came in homeless, and they ended up, CPS tracked me down and took her from me at 2 months because they said I lacked stability. So she went into foster care. Yeah, so once they took her, of course, I went right back out, posted up on the street, and just went hard. So I ended up on I went from Dundalk to Highlandtown, worked in Conklin, and then went to Monument in Montfort, and I was homeless there for 4 years. And that really, it's the life out here. It's not easy. It's dangerous. There's a lot you need to learn. It probably took me a good 2 years to learn the streets in order to know that I'm safe. So
Are the streets more dangerous than the drugs, or the drugs more dangerous than the streets?
I just think they go hand in hand. I wouldn't say that one's more dangerous than the other. Yeah, they go hand in hand. The drugs could cause problems on the streets. The gang politics, you gotta watch out for. It's a lot. It's really complex, actually. And I,
What What's the most dangerous thing you've personally experienced since being out here?
um, I would say between the gang politics, you gotta know who you're talking to, who you're friends with, the things you say out of your mouth that come back on you. Um, yeah, so I would say that, and then I think tricking is the most dangerous out here. You know, between the monsters that you have in the world, I've now been a walker for
Say that again.
a walker. I call us walkers because we walk
walker.
the strip. Yeah.
What percentage of women that are battling addiction do you think deal with sex work?
I would say like probably about like 75-80%.
80%.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. I mean, we do have some girls that panhandle, some that boost, but the easiest thing is,
When you first started doing that, did someone tell you specifically you can do that to make money, or how did you even know to do that?
so, I mean, I knew about like, prostitution and things like that. Um, Coming into Baltimore City is when like I first witnessed it and saw it. And I forgot to mention when I had my raw habit, I was a dancer down on the block. So that kind of introduced me to the lifestyle of like, you know, sex work and fetishes and all that stuff that I was super green to and didn't know about. So when I became homeless on Dundalk, the thought of tricking and standing on the corner never crossed my mind. Actually, the guy that was messing around with my daughter's father, uh, he he's the one that put me on the corner for the first time because he was ill. We were withdrawing from heroin, and he couldn't handle it. And he's like, I don't care what you have to do to make money, just get us well. So yeah, he took me up there and he pulled one of the girls off the corner and was like, tell her what she needs to know. And just like that, he went from my boyfriend to my pimp. And it happens. People that show up here as a couple using, the streets tear them apart. If the man doesn't turn into the pimp, then he just gets slapped. So it is. It's a rough lifestyle, and there's a lot that people don't know, that goes on out here because they don't see it and they don't live it. Yeah.
Do you think people actually need to see and hear your story?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because if I go into the county and I'm immediately judged, like I get those looks, like you're looked down upon for being an addict, and then people don't understand even when you're clean, because you were an addict, you're still looked down on. So it's like there's no out, and it makes it hard, and it shouldn't be like that. Like, unfortunately here, I'm not looked at as a human being. I'm looked at as something to fuck or something to sell. And that's just how it is. But, and like you want to be looked at as a human being, like when you get out of this place and go other places, but you're not. So, yeah, there's a lot that,
What do you think your purpose in life is, Amanda?
I don't know. I know that God's keeping me here for something, but I don't know what it is. between like I've been kidnapped and raped and involved in human trafficking and beaten to a pulp, and I've had major overdoses where I had to be brought back. Just things that I've been through.
You've been kidnapped?
I'm sorry.
Did you ever get justice for?
Oh no. No, it doesn't work like that.
Say that again?
It doesn't work like that. These men that come through, we just hop in the car. Most of the time you don't get a name. And if you do get a name, it's probably fake because they have wives. Or like, big time jobs. And so there's no justice, there's no court. There's no going to tell the police because then you're a rat.
Is that how you feel in a situation like that if you're victimized?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, you don't associate with the police at all when you're out here. It puts you in danger.
No matter how bad you were victimized or brutalized?
Yeah.
You feel that way?
Yeah.
Have you been kidnapped more than once and I guess sexually assaulted more than once?
Yes. Yep.
And at no time did you seek justice for your misfortune?
No. My last one that most recently put me in the program, he picked me up for a date and we did the date and everything was good, and I did some heroin, and I fell asleep in the passenger seat, and when I woke up we're at this house, and he's like, oh, this is my brother-in-law's house, I want you to take care of him too. So I'm like, alright, more money. So I go into the house and I started talking, and he's like, shh, my wife and kids are asleep upstairs. I was like, no, this is not happening. Because that's just out of line, so I wouldn't do it. And when I wouldn't take care of him, the guys holding me interchanged. So we get back in the car, and I'm thinking that he's taking me back, and I fell asleep again, and I woke up to a punch in the face and my teeth going down my throat. Yeah, so he's parked in the middle of the woods, and he was like on top of me. He's a big dude, on top of me, beating me. Yeah, he beat me bad. He broke my ribs, cracked my sternum. My teeth are mostly gone. My jaw is like permanently out of place. Like sometimes it pops out and I have to pop it back in. Yeah, so he beat me pretty bad, and then he raped me and dragged me out of the car and laid me in the breakdown lane on the interstate in La Plata, Maryland, and left me there. So troopers didn't come until 5 days later. So all these cars are driving by, and I'm just laying there, not one person stopped. So when they found me, I'm 5 days into withdrawal, so I'm like in really bad shape, and they were really concerned, so the hospital put me on Suboxone to stabilize me. And then once I got better, they were like, we're not letting you go back out to the streets. And I was like, all right, I don't want to. So they released me to Gaudenzia, Crownsville, and then I went to Evolve, which is the program that I was just recently released from. But, I mean, yeah, when you get in the car with these men, we try the best we can to read them, but you really don't know.
How long ago was that happened to you?
8 months.
8 months ago.
Yeah.
and you got no justice for that.
No.
Are you able to identify the person that did that to you?
I mean, yeah, like I see him in my head.
If you could seek out justice, would you?
Oh, absolutely. Just because, you could just tell it just came so easy to him, So he's done it before. And, if I could stop it happening to the other girls, then of course I would. And we try our best. Like, we have a women's center here, and they have a newsletter, and it has a bad date section. So, like, if a man hits a woman, rapes her, and anything, we write it in the newsletter to let the other girls know, don't get in this car. So we try our best, but, you can't catch them all.
How much longer do you see yourself out here?
I don't know. I'm very pissed that I'm back out here. Because I was clean, like I was doing good and things were going good, but once the program ended, they cut funding and I can't afford sober living. So back out to the street. But yeah, I hope it's not long.
Are you currently homeless?
Yes.
Where do you sleep?
Right here. Where I want. Yeah.
So the weather's about to change. If you're potentially homeless, where are you gonna sleep?
So the winter is tough. If you don't have like a tent. They have shelters and stuff like that, or we go up in bandos, abandoned houses. Yeah, so we figure it out, but yeah, the winter sucks. It does. But luckily, this part of the city, we have a lot of resources for homeless people. Like, they have people come out that give us food, and the church hands out clothes and things like that. So, I'm grateful for that. Because I was in Edmondson Village for 3 weeks before coming here, and they don't have any of that out there. Their homeless is like really struggling. So, yeah, so I am grateful, for those things, but...
Are you more likely to be victimized by somebody else suffering from addiction, or I guess a regular citizen?
That's hard to say. I would say, that's hard to say. I would say addiction. Just because people are not the same on drugs. Your mind's not the same. But regular people are monsters too, so...
Are there more women than men out here, or more men than women?
Oh no, I would say more men than women. Well, so in this particular area, because this area is known for tricking and stuff like that, there are a lot of females over here, more than most areas. But I would say men, definitely.
So you still do sex work for money?
Yes. Yep.
How much it costs to support your habit daily?
I'd say probably about like $100 a day for
Minimal.
both drugs. Yeah, which honestly is not that bad because my habit used to be out of control. I used to spend like $500 a day. Yeah, and I've just been trying to take it easy, and then unfortunately around here, it's a low-income area, so they're not really paying too well for dates, Like, you're averaging $20 and $30 per date. Sometimes you get lucky and get 80 to 100, that guy that's willing to spend money, but yeah. So, you can't really afford to have an outrageous habit.
If a car were to pull up right now and tell you jump in and take you somewhere where you could get the much needed help to get your life back in order totally, would you be willing to leave?
Hmm. I want to say I would, but like in an addict's mind, there's something about doing something like that spontaneously. It's like, we need to know that we can get high that one more time, before we stop. And I don't know, but God, that's hard to say, because I want to say I would, because I fucking hate it out here. I hate it. I hate everything that comes with it, and at this point, like, you grow to hate using. Like, I hate the drugs too, I've been at this now. I'm 35 years old. I've been doing this since I was 15. So it's like, and drugs aren't drugs anymore. Like, the shit they have out here, the shit we're copying is, the xylazine and all this fake shit that tears apart your body and puts holes in your body. It's crazy. So, part of me is just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you out here for? But, yeah, unfortunately, it's still addiction, and it still hooks you. So.
Have you ever introduced anyone to drugs?
No, I'm not that person. I will not introduce you. You need to make that decision on your own. Now, if you start using, I'll be there to make sure you're safe. That nothing happens to you while you use until you become accustomed with it. But I won't take drugs to somebody and be like, here, try this. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't want to see anybody become me. I don't.
Going back to your 15-year-old self, because no one knows Amanda like Amanda knows Amanda. What would you have told yourself to make you never use drugs a day in your life?
God. If I could have told myself, like, what really comes with it, like, even though it's fun in the beginning, what it turns into, yeah, I definitely would have never done it. Yeah, like, it robs you of having a real life. So, you waste all the good years, and then if you're lucky and you get your shit together when you're like my age or older, but then you got to start over from scratch, and that's not easy in this world. And a lot of the time it gets so frustrating because, when we come out of addiction, we are a mess. We have no documents, no license. A lot of these people haven't worked a job in years. We don't know how to pay bills. We don't know how to do laundry. It's like a baby, like learning everything all over again. We have to relearn how to live, and people don't understand that. And then, we get the bottom of the bottom jobs because we have no documents, we have no experience, which don't pay shit, and then you don't make enough in order to afford things, and it just becomes so frustrating that you're just like, you know what, fuck this, I want to get high. And that's why a lot of people come back out, just because of the stress and the pressure, so, but, I mean, if I don't know, if I could, like, a glimpse into my life, like, in the future of, like, what drugs, like, took from me, Yeah, I've definitely tell my 15-year-old self I wouldn't have even hung out with those girls. I would have gone like a totally different crowd, you know?
Where do you see yourself in 3 months?
Mm. Hopefully with my shit together, you know?
If you could say something to someone right now to inspire them to be the best them they could be, what would you tell them?
Mm. I would say, like, you know, just when people think that, like, they have it bad, just, like, remember that it could always be worse. And, you know, nobody should think that, like, they can't do something. Like, they shouldn't give up.
And with that being said, we want to thank you for your time. We want to thank you for your honesty.
Yeah, absolutely.
And most importantly, we want to thank you for your story. We're praying for you, Amanda.
Thank you.
Thank you again.